What's up guys, it's Amanda. Welcome back to my channel and happy Not Artsy Fartsy Friday. You are getting a video on a Saturday this week, and the reason you're getting an extra video is because I have teamed up again with the Artstravaganza collaboration group here on YouTube, and we are creating a series of illustrations together. Now, for those of you who might be wondering what is Artstravaganza, it's basically just a group of us YouTube artists that have kind of gotten together over the past couple years during the summertime and worked on various projects together. We usually do an entire summer of different art events and things like that, but unfortunately this year all of our lives were really busy, and we really didn't have a lot of time to plan it, let alone actually execute any of the illustrations. So for those of you that have expressed interest in Artstravaganza and have asked us about joining, please know that this was not us snubbing you off. It was just us saying we've barely had time to actually think anything through. This is what we were able to get done, and it was actually a very simple, straightforward theme. That being said, I know the Artstravaganza group has been wanting to do bigger projects in the future, and we definitely do want to bring in more artists for that. So please just stay tuned. Make sure you're following everyone from the Artstravaganza group just to stay updated on the latest news. And I would say especially to make sure that you're following and in contact with JMI, aka the JMI Creations here on YouTube, because he is kind of the creator of this group and therefore kind of is the one calling the shots. But so for this theme, we basically just decided we were going to recreate a previous theme, or attempt a previous theme over again. So we've done, like I said, 2 summers worth of art events and themes, and we've created a lot of artwork for that. And basically we just wanted to revisit some of those challenges and illustration ideas and concepts that we've done in the past and try them again, maybe with a new twist. So the very first Artstravaganza challenge we ever did was the color palette challenge, where each person was given a color palette and then a word, and they had to create an illustration based off of both of those things. I will insert my old color palette challenge up on the screen for you guys. It's actually still one of my favorite pieces. It's super goofy and fun. I love it. And it was a lot of fun to create. And so I kind of wanted to attempt that again and just push myself and see if it would be a fun challenge, and then also just to see how my art has improved. So the JMI Creations was kind enough to give me a color palette, and he actually gave me 2 color palettes, which was interesting, and I will throw that up on the screen as well so you can see the colors I was working with. So I had about 10 colors that I was working with for this color palette. None of them were neutrals, which was kind of fun, and then he gave me the words pulsar, Nova, and Nordic, and then somewhere in there he also threw in tropical and space. And he kind of I think realized he was maybe giving me a lot of different things. So he was like, just pick from that what you will, and if you come up with an idea, then great. So I said, okay, I definitely like the idea of tropical. I definitely like the idea of maybe throwing an element of space in there. And then these colors were just kind of giving me a lot of really cool, beachy, millennial vibes. So I kind of set forth with this idea. I really loved the colors that I got. I thought they were really fun and that they complemented each other well. And they all blended together really well. I will say there wasn't a lot of easy ways for me to get depth with these colors, but I did my best. And you can see up on the left hand corner of the screen I have my little color thumbnail that I did just to kind of follow along with. I really pushed myself with this pose. You can see her back foot is kind of lifting up. She's on roller skates, so there's a bit of a foreshortening aspect in there. But either way, I had a really fun time with this illustration, and I ended up really liking the results. So just to let you guys know, the original is for sale. I will have prints available as well, so you can check out my Store Envy shop for that. And I did kind of release little teasers and sneak peeks of this over on my Patreon, so if you're ever interested in being the first to see any of the stuff I create, definitely consider pledging to my Patreon, because I do that quite often now. And then I just kind of wanted to use the rest of this video to talk about why collaborating is important. So I've been on YouTube for 4 years now, I can't even remember. I've been doing this for a while, and in the early days of my channel, I don't think I would have been able to thrive and survive and enjoy YouTube as much as I did without doing collaborations. And collaborations really serve two purposes. Number one, they do help you promote yourself, get your name out there, and gain new followers. But more importantly, they really help you build a community. And without that community, you're gonna burn out on YouTube or anything that you're doing for that matter really, really quickly. So it's hard to break into a new community from the outside, but it's actually the most important thing that you can do for your success. Now, when I started my YouTube channel, the art community was still pretty small. There wasn't that many large art channels at the time, and there were a lot of smaller channels that were just out here trying to make friends, trying to promote their art. Nobody was really taking it super seriously, but they were just trying to have fun. And because of that, it really facilitated this friendly environment, this really supportive environment, and it was honestly one of the most welcoming communities. And it actually still is in a lot of ways. I know that with the changes of social media and kind of the constant fear of the algorithm kicking people out, it has kind of changed the tone of the environment a little bit to be slightly more hostile, and it's almost like they divide us based on class, right? Like how many subscribers you have dictates who you can talk to and who can succeed and who can't succeed. It's like, it shouldn't be like that, but unfortunately the algorithms can make it feel that way sometimes. But if you are a new channel, if you are a smaller channel, if you feel like you're kind of below this threshold of being able to promote your art or succeed on YouTube, don't feel that way. And have this attitude where you strive to connect with others who are doing the same thing that you're doing. It's so important to do that. It's so important to do that not only for channels that are bigger than you so they can help you grow, but it is equally as important to do that with channels that are smaller than you to help them grow. Because it's not a race, it's not a competition. Everybody can do well at this and everyone can succeed. And somebody succeeding does not mean that you are not succeeding. So it's a really important mentality to have, that you are not trying to beat anyone out. You are just trying to simply do your best. And everyone is just trying to do their best. It's not a competition. So I do have a whole video about this, about collaborating with people and why it's important and how to go about asking people for collaborations. I will have that video linked in the cards and down below as well. But I think it's important to consider collaborating when you do start your channel. Not only does it, like I said, get your name out there, but it also gives you friends in the art community. And without my friends that I've made in this art community, I may not be on YouTube today. So obviously, if you don't know the people in the Artstravaganza group, I will go ahead and obviously link them down below, but I'm going to go ahead and shout them out now here too. Obviously, like I said, the JMI Creations founded this group and kind of contacted us all 2 years ago to work on this project, and we've been doing it ever since. We've remained friends regardless of how busy our lives get or how infrequently we go without talking to each other. I feel like we all still have each other's backs and we're all still really supportive. Nyrel Busby is another one. I met Nyrel through JMI, and they have been my biggest supporters and some of my greatest friends here on YouTube since day one. So it's been really cool to work with them in kind of a larger context of a group. Then we have Lynn Doodles, who is such a sweetheart. I'm so proud of her. She is now in college, and it feels like so crazy. I feel so old. But she is doing super well for herself. She is succeeding and going on to bigger and better things, but she still participates in this group, and it's been a lot of fun to have her and kind of see her grow as an artist. Same goes for Edward Suo, who is another big sweetheart. She does like all of our intros and everything like that. She is so amazingly talented, and she's also in college now. Oh my gosh, everyone's growing up. But she's just been a real delight to see grow. I've also collaborated with some of these people independently of Artstravaganza. I've actually done some voice acting for Eddie in some of her videos, and Lynn and I also have a collaboration out there. And in the past, we've also had Monique Renee participate with us, and then last year we actually had Illustration with Evie join us, but unfortunately this year she was not able to participate, which is totally okay. Things come up and life happens. She will always be a part of the Artstravaganza family, and we miss her dearly, but we totally obviously understand that things come up, and this is a time commitment. So regardless of how much you want to collaborate with people, sometimes the timing just doesn't work out, and this has been a more recent struggle for me in my life and just the state of my channel. It feels like I have no time to collaborate with people, and it makes me miss the early days of my channel when collaborations were pretty much the only thing I had on my mind and the only thing I really worried about. But nowadays that's changed, and with my current school schedule and internship schedule, it's really difficult to set aside the time to work on collaborations. So please know that sometimes when you reach out to channels and ask them to collaborate and they refuse, it's not because they don't want to collaborate. Sometimes it's really just because they can't, and other stuff is happening behind the scenes that maybe they're not advertising on YouTube for whatever reason. So please bear that in mind. I would love to continue collaborating with artists in the future, hopefully when my life gets a little less crazy. But I think it's just important to know that and maybe consider that, you know, not everything that you see on the internet gives you the full picture. So yeah, this was kind of a rambly voiceover. I wasn't really planning on talking about anything in particular. I just kind of thought, let me plug in the mic and see what happens, which is usually how I do voiceovers, to be completely honest, and I end up rambling about anything and everything. If you like hearing me ramble for whatever reason, you should consider following me on Twitch, because that's basically where I ramble for hours and hours on end while doing art in real time, and you can chat with me and be a part of my rambling conversations, which is usually pretty fun. Yeah, so just to kind of reiterate everything in the video, this was an illustration as part of the Artstravaganza collaboration group. Everything about the collaboration group will be linked down below, so you can check out the people in the group, kind of what we do. We have playlists and stuff from our previous videos, and like I said, everyone's individual channels will be linked down below, so you can check out the illustrations that they did for this challenge. Definitely, if you are interested in Artstravaganza, I know many of you have reached out to me before asking about Artstravaganza. Please be patient. We are planning to do larger projects, including more artists in the near future, in the very, very near future. So stay tuned for that. And if you are interested in owning the original or any prints of this illustration right here, I will go ahead and have that information down below as well. But thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I really do appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. You guys make my day, make my life. You are my internet family. And I look forward to talking to you all very, very soon. See you on the internet. Bye!